John here. So in this video I'm going to play through the first part of the picking mechanics workout from my book Pentatonic Picking Power. And the idea behind the workout is to take a fragment, and I'm going to show you what that means, and then play that fragment throughout any of the 5 2-note per string shapes from the minor pentatonic. I'm going to demonstrate it here, sort of the day 1 shape in A minor. And we're going to play these fragments in a very systematic way, kind of like a no stones unturned method. And it's extremely beneficial for your overall technique. So it's not only for pentatonic picking, it will actually help you with any type of picking. So I'm not gonna talk so much about it now. You can check out the book below. You have a link in the description, and it's $9 and it's way underpriced, I think. But you know, I'm a bit biased on that, but this is definitely one of my best instructional products so far. So I'm really proud of this book, and it's gotten great results for a lot of people already. So the fragment in this case is going to be what I call 2+1, meaning you have 2 notes and then 1 note. So within this fragment we're going to get this sequence. So we go back, so we get 4 notes in total, and the loop method then is starting on each of the notes in this loop. So I can get this one, I can start here, here, and here again. So that's my 4 loops. And now I want to do that starting with a downstroke and also again starting with an upstroke. And I do each loop 3 times and end on the starting note again. So it's going to go like this. Next note. Next. And the final. Right, so that's the first fragment. Now I want to do that again, but starting every loop with an upstroke. So now I'm done with the 2+1 loop on this string set. And now we have the next fragment, which will be the opposite, basically 1+2. So now the same thing applies. I'm gonna do the loop, that thing, 3 reps for each, always starting and ending on the whatever note I started on. So I complete the loop. And first of all, I go through it starting with a downstroke. So it goes like this. And as always, I keep it at a very low tempo. So accuracy and relaxation is the most important thing. Now I'm going to do it again, starting with an upstroke. Now I completed the E and A string, so I've done both fragments, 2+1, 1+2, and now it's time for the A and D string. We're going to do exactly the same thing, starting with a downstroke first and doing the 2+1. Now, if you get confused here and thinking like, why do we have 4 loops when you have 3 notes? That's because the sequence itself has 4 notes. And even though we repeat this one, it's because the first time around, that's the second note of the loop. So 1, 2, so it's going to be 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Right, if you number every note from the beginning. And then it's also the 4th note of the loop. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's going to go. And each of these loops will sound different and also feel different. So that's why we do it this way. So again, starting with an upstroke. Cool, now we got the next one, 1+2, starting with a downstroke. upstroke. Done with the A and D string. Now we have the D and G string, same thing. So we start with the first one, 2 + 1. And then we start with an upstroke. Now we have 1 + 2, starting with a downstroke. Focusing on relaxing. And then we do the same with an upstroke. All right, almost done with this one. Now we're going to go to the G and B string, 2 + 1. Start with an upstroke. Now in the book, the whole routine is written out completely, so you can just follow along in the tabs. And if you want just the tabs for this routine, you can find that on my Patreon as well. So the next one, 1 + 2, downstroke first. Upstroke. Final string set, starting with the first one, 2 + 1, downstroke. And upstroke. And finally we got 1 + 2, starting with a downstroke. Starting with an upstroke. That's the whole thing for these two fragments, but like I said, in the book you have a lot of different exercises in the same vein, using string skipping and all kinds. And of course you have a lot of different sequences as well, so it's not only, you know, these picking fragments. But I think these picking fragments is probably the most important part of the book, because these will enable you to be really free with the pentatonic, so you don't. And most of my technique practice is at around this tempo, so I focus on getting a really good tone, I feel relaxed, everything is accurate, and also going through these type of systematic exercises, because I don't want to be stuck with, you know, being really good at 1 or 2 sequences, because then inevitably if I want to improvise, I'm gonna feel really confined by what I can do and what I'm comfortable with. Equally, if I want to learn something from some other guitar player, if I don't happen to be really good at that particular, you know, picking lick or whatever, I'm sort of shit out of luck. And that's not a good feeling. So that's the big benefit of doing things systematically, that you systematically get rid of different picking hang-ups, and you're not sitting there and just doing one thing really well. You can do more things. You're not stuck with one particular picking pattern. And of course, there's certain picking patterns that feel harder for me and some are easier, but I think that's just the nature of the whole thing. But that doesn't mean that I can't do the ones that I feel are a little bit more difficult. It's just that they might not feel as comfortable. But the more stuff I practice like this, I find that less and less feels actually bad or really hard to play. So if you haven't tried this approach before and you've just been, playing specific licks with the same picking all the time, try this approach, and I think you'll find that it can really help your technique a lot. But like I said, if you want the tabs for this specific workout, you can just go to my Patreon. I have that link below. And if you want the book, you can get that via the link in the description as well. So good luck with this one, and let me know what you think, and see you in the next one.